Opinion IMF, are you watching 1 billion loan approved, Pakistan targets civilians, escalates war with India insensitive monetary fund International Mujahid Fund. What exactly is the IMF? On Friday, the International Monetary Fund IMF took a tragic decision despite stern Indian dissent. The multilateral financial lender approved 1.1 billion in its latest loan tranche for a bankrupt Pakistan. Within hours of the approval, the rogue terror state launched a massive drawn-out aerial assault against India. This has since snowballed into an all-out conflict, as India carries out punishing airstrikes across the length and breadth of Pakistan, destroying air bases, aerial assets, detection radars, and other military infrastructure. The question is, upon whom does the onus of this escalation lie? Obviously, Pakistan is the primary culprit. However, Pakistan refrained from launching an all-out aerial attack, including with ballistic missiles, before the IMF approved its plea for the billion-dollar loan. However, as soon as Pakistan was assured of such capital aid, it mounted an attack across 26 sites, both civilian and military, in India. And the IMF's decision comes under a 3 billion standby arrangement signed in July 2023. The 1.1 billion is the final tranche under this short-term bailout, aimed at stabilizing Pakistan's fragile economy, which has been plagued by inflation, dwindling forex reserves, and political uncertainty. India says the loan is doing more harm than good. We had formally raised our objections to the IMF, highlighting how such funds are being diverted for destabilizing regional peace. Today's events prove our point, an Indian official told News 18. Read more. Do IMF bailouts provide Pakistan cover to plan terror attacks like Pahalgam? India argued that Pakistan has been a long-time recipient of IMF loans but has consistently failed to meet the program's conditions and implement reforms effectively. This, India suggested, raises serious concerns about either the IMF's ability to enforce its programs in Pakistan or Pakistan's willingness to comply. India also cited a 2021 UN report, which described military-linked enterprises as the largest conglomerate in Pakistan, implying that economic resources may be disproportionately controlled by the military establishment. In Pakistan, as mentioned earlier, is bankrupt. It faces a balance of payments crisis, and without IMF doles, the country would descend into a full-blown economic crisis and civil strife would quickly follow. It is established beyond a shred of doubt that the Pakistani military establishment runs the show in the Islamic Republic. As such, the Pakistani army has a final veto on any and all funds which the civilian government gets its hands on. For the Pakistani military, waging a proxy war against India is a national priority. Pakistan uses terrorism as a weapon of its state power. It is not like the global community is not aware of this. Yet, no major country appears to have stonewalled IMF's desire to write Pakistan a billion-dollar check. Just as the IMF approved the loan for Pakistan, the rogue state's military began heavy shelling of civilian areas along the LOC and IB, apart from attacking several civilian settlements with loitering munitions. The IMF's decision to help Pakistan fund its terror industry was so brazen that Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah had to call out the international body on social media. I'm not sure how the international community thinks the current tension in the subcontinent will be de-escalated when the IMF essentially reimburses Pakistan for all the ordnance it is using to devastate Poonch, Rajouri, Uri, Tangdar, so many other places. Omar Abdullah, May 10, 2025. Swipe left for next video. This is not the first time Pakistan has allegedly escalated tensions after receiving international financial support. India has long maintained that Islamabad diverts aid meant for welfare and reform towards bolstering its military or supporting non-state actors operating against India. The episode raises troubling questions about the global financial architecture. Should international lenders like the IMF consider the geopolitical behavior of borrowing nations? Is there a mechanism to ensure that economic bailouts are not misused for aggression? India's worry is that the IMF's decision to give Pakistan a free pass could embolden it to further destabilize the region. The IMF may see itself as an apolitical lender, but this episode shows that financial decisions cannot be divorced from geopolitical realities. With tensions flaring again in the Indian subcontinent, the question remains: has the IMF unwittingly bankrolled a crisis, and if so, who will be held accountable? Latest blogs.